Well, we are going to dive into some tune writing, and we've just gone over the process a little bit here. Essentially, I'm going to prompt you with a phrase or a lick, and based on that phrase, you'll come up with the second part of this tune or the second phrase in the tune, and we'll take it phrase by phrase. And at the end of it, you'll have two phrases that you wrote, and I have two phrases that I wrote. And then we'll take that melody and we'll turn it into or we'll take one of the phrases of that melody and we'll come up with a variation. And then we'll try to fit one of these phrases that we wrote into a popular fiddle tune. And
Sounds good. Let's do it.
let's do it. All right. So I'll show you this phrase. It's in the key of G. It's in 4/4. It's just straight up bluegrass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Do you want me to play it again? Close. Yeah.
Okay.
So, ba, da, da, dee, da.
Yep.
Yeah.
So obviously we're in a Scruggs vibe here, and I
Yeah.
just kind of automatically hear it going up to the fifth fret, like. And then you could change chord, but. Or let's see. Actually, that's kind of cool. Giving a little flat 7 vibe there. So, what if it was like? So there's like
Yeah.
From the G to the C.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's great. So what's that
So
little?
going, and then
Is that right?
that's it. That's it. Go for it. Yep.
Okay. Sweet. So. So what I was hearing in my head now is going up actually and doing it the same kind of. Well, maybe I wasn't hearing that. I'm just hearing, or.
So play yours one more time.
So, no.
Okay. Something like that.
Yeah.
So you're playing the melody on the second string, like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I love that. I do that melody forward roll on like the second and third strings. Like, I get a lot of mileage out of that. Just playing melodies like. So that resonates. That's cool. Now I may have just changed yours a little bit.
You did, but that's fine. It sounded
That's
great.
probably what I would. So.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking this is like Scruggs sounding to me, and I actually love trying. It's hard to write a good Scruggs tune,
Yes.
but this is pretty cool. Now, that's cool. I like them both, honestly. You're. Is that what you had played originally?
Yes, but I kind of like yours more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then also.
Killer.
That's kind of a good A part right there.
I dig that A part. Yeah. Just on the spot in the 10-minute time that we just took to make it. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you.
Yeah, go for it.
Since we're flying through this and we already have an A section, you know, if we'll call it that, what are some of your thoughts for if you wanted to write a B section? Where do you want to go? Do you want to stay in G? Do you want to go to a minor? Do you go to the 5 chord? Do you have any ideas of, based on this melody that we wrote, where we could go from here?
You know, the one thing that I think my brain wants to hear for a B part is a faster harmonic rhythm. So another way to say that is the chord changes will come faster.
Awesome.
So in this A part, you know, and things are moving sort of predictably. And then what if the chord changes came a little faster in the B part, you know? And also, let's say, like I think it's also kind of nice to, you know, you don't always have to do this when you're writing, but if you're writing songs and you come to the chorus and you've been really leaning on the one chord, say you want to like start in a different place, you want a different flavor. I think it would be cool after a pretty straight A part here to introduce like an E minor, you know. Let's see. You know, something like something like that.
Yeah, so the chords are changing every 2 beats now.
Exactly.
That harmonic
thinking,
rhythm.
and now obviously when you're writing, you know, you got to kind of put it to the test, right? So like if I play that whole A part, and again, actually like hanging on the G. So E minor, C to G, hang there. Maybe then you have to change the next time.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't
Sure.
know. What do you think?
I dig that. Because you could hang on that D for an extra 2 beats too, and that could just bring you back into the A section. It could
Like
be
almost like a AABA kind
That's
of vibe.
it. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I really like AAB tunes, and there's some. I feel like a lot of times when I'm like chasing that, it doesn't feel as natural. But in this case, well, you weren't necessarily looking for it, but it's sort of there. It was. But yeah.
Right.
So also, I mean, what if the melody was just like, so the A part is pretty scrug. We have that little bit of melody at the end there. The which is sort of an embellishment anyway. Like I think when you were playing it, kind of hangs,
Yeah.
right? Like, what if we had a little bit more of a melody in there like that?
Right. In the B section instead of
B
over the
section.
G chord.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like E minor, C. A little bit
Yes.
more of a and then you could use that same lick to eventually go to a D chord, so you kind of got some optionality there.
Yes. I love that. Just to throw that little melodic figure in there to break it up from all the scrugs that's happening. And yeah, like you said, to give it a little bit of melody over that G chord rather than just hanging on that one note. Dig it. Dig it. So that B section. Like that? Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, that could, if you wanted to do it AABA, I think
Yeah.
that would be the way to do it.
Right.
So the B part is short, like.
Cool.
And then that C really is like a payoff there, especially with that leading tone, with that Mixolydian thing, like the after that B part. For some reason, now that I'm hearing it like in its entirety,
Right.
you get a little payoff on that C chord. It's like I think that's because in the B part, it's used as a real passing chord.
Sure.
And now when we get back to this AABA, it's
Right.
like a landing chord on the 4 chord, which is that's like a known sort of pleasing spot to land. But yeah, then you go back to the A.
Yeah, but what you just did there with that ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, like
Yeah.
having some sort of variation in that last A section is sometimes really cool.
So
You know?
you could have that. It could be like. Uh, that's a good one right there. So the last B part would be.
Dig it.
Did
Can
we
you
just
play
write
through the whole
did we
thing?
just write a tune? I
I
can
think we
try.
wrote an entire tune. That's never happened before.
I can try, and let's see, because I'll play a kind of medium speed because that's
Okay.
a good, balance between like you can hear everything, but you get a more of a musical test. If it's too slow, it can be hard to discern what's going on. But
Yep.
it sounds something like this.
Nice.
Yeah,
Thanks. Thanks for running that down. That was quick and easy, man.
I would.